Welcome back. I'm Jay. We got Steve behind the camera. This is the Heads Up Show. Thank you so much for joining. This is the channel if you love football helmets. We are talking about Vicis today. Right, Steve?
That's right. So what I did was I took some of the top questions or the repeated questions that I'm seeing online. Let's see if we can maybe answer some. So here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm just going to go through some of these questions and try your best at answering them. So full disclosure before we get into it, yes, we are going to be selling these. No, we have no actual problem with Vicis or any of its affiliates. So take what we're going to say with a grain of salt, okay?
Yes. And also for full disclosure, Steve, I don't know what questions you're going to be asking. You told me, hey, let's go do a video talk about Vicis, so here we are. I'm just the guinea pig.
Yep. Okay, so people are often saying they want to buy one of these, but they're worried, like, are they going to go out of business? Are they going to get stuck with a helmet that can't get reconditioned?
So, two things there, right? I would say based off of what I know, and for those of you who don't know, I did have a previous career pseudo working near Wall Street, we'll say, in financial services. And I can say this about companies who have gone through that bankruptcy process, that when a company comes in, and, when a investment banker comes in or investment firm comes in, or VC, venture capital, they come in, they buy a company, they're doing it for one reason. They're doing it to double, triple, quadruple their investment over a relatively short period of time. Not to get too much into the technicals of the thing, but I feel like they know exactly what they're getting into. I am not worried about Vicis going bankrupt again because there's a reasonable expectation with people who really know how to hit the digits on the calculators. As far as reconditioning goes, as far as I know, the 01s can still be reconditioned, if not directly with Vicis. There's a couple of independent reconditioners out there. Continental Reconditioning in California, or Continental Athletics in California, and Capital Varsity out of Ohio. I'm pretty sure that they both do reconditioning. I would say if you have a 01, you need to get it reconditioned. Call one or both of those guys, ask them about it. Whoever's answers the phone will know. We'll be able to help you and give you pricing and all that kind of stuff. And if they don't do it, they'll let you know that too, but I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay, all right, cool. Next one. Are there going to be youth sizes? On the website, it says they're quote unquote aiming to have them for the 2021 season.
Yes, so as far as I know, we've kind of received a preliminary price list, and on that price list are youth 02s. However, from what I'm hearing, I believe it's May is when the adult 02s are going to begin shipping, is kind of what the target is right now. I'm not sure about youth, so I don't know if those youths are in line to start shipping shortly thereafter or later on down the road. It's January, we're still in the pandemic. I think they're probably saying target 2021, or before the youth season starts, because they really want it to happen. But they're also saying, you know what, we just came out of 2020 and there's a lot of unknowns out there. We can't really guarantee anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see them, but it's probably going to be spring or early summer before we know for sure, are these things going to hit by July, August or not?
Okay. All right. And that makes sense. It's some promising in there. Somebody put in here, this is a tough one. Why are they ignoring people? There seems to be no customer service, and some people are waiting for weeks or months for a reply. I mean, that is frustrating.
Absolutely. And, I just read an article that came out a few days ago in Inc. You can go to inc.com, I think it is, online, or just look up Vicis Inc. You'll probably find it. It pretty much explains right in there. They are on a super uber skeleton crew, and there are people who are there really focused. You got some engineers, you got some designers, you got some marketing people, and I think that their main focus right now is doing everything they can to launch the helmet. I suspect that from a customer service standpoint, they're probably extremely thin, and they're just doing the best they can with what they've got. But though, once the helmets start selling and they've got revenue coming in, I imagine that they're going to be going and hiring staff, and customer service is going to be pretty high on the list. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row now. So when we get some of these helmets in for sale, we can do the best that we can to service you. And I suspect Vicis will get there as well. So I think it's probably killing them that they don't have the bandwidth to answer every single question. But again, I don't know exactly what's going on in this situation. I've worked in customer service departments before, and I've been in situations where you're months behind on emails, and it's extremely difficult to catch up on that kind of stuff.
Okay. Somebody puts in here, what's the difference between the 01 and then this new 02?
Great question, and that's something that the little nuances of what the differences are, we're really going to be able to tell once we start getting some of these in our hands. Things that I know right out of the gate, the 01 came with a titanium face mask. Only option was a titanium face mask. One big reason for that is to keep the weight down. The 02, you're going to have a titanium option and a carbon steel option. Obviously, the carbon steel is going to be cheaper, and titanium is typically about a third the weight of carbon steel face masks, but the helmet in general is going to be about a half a pound lighter, the 02 versus the 01, which means if you go and put a carbon steel mask on there, that is going to be about a half a pound heavier than the titanium version, which takes you right back up there. But I know that they were with the 01, they were very concerned with balance, and I suspect that it's the same thing with the 02. There's also some differences. Obviously, there's design differences. It's a new face mask. Oakley has made a new visor that's going to be fitting into it perfectly. And there's some, I'm hearing it's more comfortable. They've taken the technology of the 01 combined with the feedback they've received over the couple of years selling this into the NFL and the Power 5 teams and made the tweaks into the 02, right? So it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be lighter, it's going to be more comfortable. It sounds like everything's better, right?
Yeah.
But because that's what happens when you learn.
Well, what I'm noticing is the columns are a little bit different. They're not rounded anymore. They're kind of, they have edges like rectangular. And then the padding. The fact that you can customize the padding with just snapping them in place, that looked pretty cool.
Yep.
And we just can't fully answer this yet, but I figured you knew some of the answers, so why not? Somebody says, are they still only going to ship in the USA?
It's a challenge to ship outside of the U.S. We have shipped outside the U.S. for years now, pretty much right out of the gate. But I know that there's a lot of companies in general that do not ship out of the U.S. And because we do ship out of the U.S., I know exactly why they don't, right?
Right.
Because there's a lot of, it's far more complicated shipping outside of the U.S. and you have to be far more knowledgeable, which means that the people doing the shipping have to know exactly what's going on. So there's a training element to it, right? Also, if there's an issue and you've shipped that helmet to Australia, well, now you got to get that helmet back because maybe it was the wrong size. Now you've got multiple shippings across the planet, which is far more expensive. So, short answer is I have no idea if Vicis Direct will be shipping outside the U.S., but I do know we will. So if you purchase your helmet from Gridiron, even if we have to custom order it from Vicis because it's not the exact color or combination that we stock in our warehouse, we'll be able to ship it outside the U.S.
Okay, cool. Here's another one. What kind of partnership technology is going to be shared between the two companies? So like, for example, are we going to see something like a tectonic plate in the Vicis 01, or are we going to see like a flexible shell in an F7? That's a good question because
It's actually a really good question. And so Vicis and Schutt right now are owned by the same company, okay? Schutt is going to be doing all of the sales distribution to like the teams and so forth. So we're working with our Schutt rep to order Vicis helmets, and we're working with Schutt to get the Vicis helmets, right? So I believe what's going to be happening is there is going to be a lot of integration, which just makes sense. I cannot imagine that we're ever going to see a tectonic plate on a Vicis. I don't know if we're going to see the softer helmet technology or any of the types of pads in the Schutt, but I do know that Schutt has been working on a new chin strap that we're going to be seeing that Schutt chin strap on the Vicis helmet. I can't imagine that they wouldn't share more technology. I just don't have any idea what that technology would be or when it would come out. I would be shocked if anything came out sooner than like 2 years, just knowing how long it takes to ramp things up like that up.
Cost. What is this thing going to cost? Do we know yet?
Yeah, so there's going to be 3 different versions of the adult helmets. Pricing isn't 100% yet, but I think we're going to be trying to get these down to like $700, maybe even $600 some way. We're trying to be creative to see what we can do and how to make all that work. There's going to be incentives and things that come down the road, but it's going to be in that range, I would say, between that $600 and $800 range, kind of to start, and then and then all the add-ins like visors and upgraded chin straps and things of that nature. Paint, fancy paint jobs cost money too. So that's kind of the range that we're looking at for right now, but really it's too early to say for sure.
All right, and then probably the second most asked question and the last one for this video, and you touched on it a little bit. What's up with Green Gridiron? Like, are we going to have these, and are we going to have them to try on? How's that going to work?
Yeah, so exciting news is going to be coming soon. We're working on some things where you'll be able to come in and try on helmets and get fitted, not just for the Vicis, but also for some Schutt helmets and Riddell helmets. So we're really looking forward to that internally. But yeah, we're going to have Vicis helmets for sale. We're only going to be stocking a handful of colors in the beginning. We really want to get some feedback from some players out there. We have some affiliates that we're starting up. If you've got a big social media presence or a big social presence and you want to be an affiliate for Green Gridiron because you love us so much, shoot us an email, let us know. Might be able to work something out because we're starting a small program with some affiliates who play football. So we're trying to get these in the hands of some people who we know, so we can get some real feedback that we can then give to you, because we want to make sure that we're informing you with all of the information possible so you can make the best decision of which helmet is going to be best for you. And we always say, when people ask us, hey, what's the best helmet? We're like, well, for me, it's the one that's going to fit you the best and be the most comfortable and that you feel the most comfortable in. Because some helmets, which could be awesome helmets for one person, might not fit that well for somebody else. And you really got to, figure out what kind of head you have compared to the helmet that you're putting on it.
All right, well, if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. That's all that we got for this video as far as Vicis question and answers are concerned. But if you have your own questions, go ahead and leave them in the section below. Go ahead and let's hear it.
We definitely want to hear from you. What kind of questions do you have below, not only about the Vicis helmet, but maybe upcoming products from Schutt or Riddell or anybody. Don't be a stranger. We're looking forward to giving you more information so you can learn more about this, make informed decision for next season, and you'll be good to go. Hopefully there will be seasons. From everything that we're seeing, things are starting to get a little bit better out there, so we hope that continues.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this long. We really do appreciate it. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.